There's actually something I've been wanting to do for a while, and that's make a tutorial video. I may or may not have made some in my earlier days of my YouTube career last year, but we don't talk about that, okay? So that stays between us if you've seen those. So I'm gonna make one on how I make eyes. The first thing you're gonna need to do is to choose the skin tone, because that's what all the other colors are gonna be based off of. For this, I personally use a flat base color, but just do whatever your preference is. If you're not sure what skin colors to do, I have some colors that you can color pick. When it comes to the eye shape, I usually do an almond shaped eye. For the eyelashes, I use cross hatching, and basically what that is you just make a bunch of lines, and from far away it makes it look really detailed. When it comes to choosing the eye whites, I go down on the color wheel, and then for the actual color, I go up. That way it doesn't look like it's a flat color. I do either go down first and then up, or up and then up again, and it just feels like it adds so much detail. For the actual flat colors of the eye, I do a flat base color, and then I do the shadow of the eye and a flat version of the iris, but then I go back and then I do a darker color for the iris of the eye, and then I add a little eye shine, but that's all the flat colors. In order to get the color of the eyeshadow, what I do is I color pick the eye white, and then I usually go for like a color in like the red part of the color wheel, and then I go down to where it's like almost purplish usually, and I usually use this brush, and this is a default brush on the app, so you can actually find it without having to scan a QR code or anything. And sometimes I do some cross hatching, and then I just try to replicate the same shapes of the eyelashes, but on the eye whites. That way it looks like it's reflecting downwards. Well, not reflecting, but it's like creating a shadow. From there, I try to like blend it in a little bit as well. That way it just makes more detail. And then when I'm done with that, on the bottom, I'll go to the color wheel and I'll choose like a blue color, because I find that that usually looks closest to white. And I put that on the bottom of the eye whites because I feel like it just makes it look like the light is bouncing from like the light source down and then up again into your eye. This is the most important part that makes my art like actually look like my art. So this brush actually belongs to another artist, so I'm gonna credit them. Their art is like really pretty, and I love how deceptively simple it looks, but it's actually really like detailed, and I think that that's really cool. So this is the artist, and this is the brush QR code. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna use that brush and you're gonna color select the color of the eye that you're on, and you make that go out. And then you're gonna color select the eye white next to it, and you're gonna make it go in. But make sure to add dots because it makes it look really detailed. And then you could add more detail by going over the eye whites with the previous color, and same thing but the opposite. And you just basically keep repeating that. Now you color pick the eye shine to make it look like a color that stands out. Same process that I said before for picking the color, you just do that, but you select the color that you have for the eye shine and you do that same process that I said before. For the bottom of the eye, what I usually do is I use the select tool and I select like about half of the eye. This is like above all the eye layers, but make sure it's on a separate layer. And I use the triangle airbrush and I airbrush the bottom, and I either use like a really light blue or like a light pink or light red, and it looks really good usually. Now we're basically done, and we're gonna do something that's really gonna bring it together. So I take the same brush that we originally started using, the one that I gave you the QR code for, and you're gonna make it really small, and you're just gonna like pick all the colors of the rainbow, and you're just gonna make them go out kind of like it's like a firework, and it's gonna look really good from far away. And you're just gonna keep doing that with a bunch of different colors, and then after that you're gonna do random white spots. I just call it eye dandruff because it looks like eye dandruff, but then when you zoom out it looks normal. Just make sure the shapes of the eye dandruff is varied. Like make some small, make some big, and it makes it look really detailed. Now we're almost done, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a layer over the eyelashes and you're gonna alpha lock that. I'm gonna show you on screen how to do that if you don't know. And basically what that's gonna do is it's gonna make it to where anything you draw on that layer is gonna only like make lines or whatever you draw over what you drew before, if that makes sense. And you're gonna take the triangle airbrush and you're gonna make it red on both sides, and that just adds a lot of detail. Now what I do is I make a layer underneath the eyelashes, and I choose like a gray color that's lighter than the color that you used for the eyelashes. And you're just gonna use this brush and you're just gonna shade under the eyelashes, and it's gonna make it look fuller. For the skin around the eye, what I do is I choose like a reddish skin tone color, and I put that at the corners of the eye. Because if you look at a real human's eye, you'll notice that around the corners of your eye, it's like a little bit red. I'm pretty sure that's because of the blood flow, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a computer well, I'm not a biologist, so don't quote me on that, okay? Yeah, so you're gonna take that and you're gonna put that on the corners of the eye. On the creases of the eye, you should put like an orangish or reddish darker color. That way it sells the illusion that there's depth, but there's no depth. For this part, just add highlights with like a light blue. Shadows with a dark blue. I'm gonna redo basically everything in my tie. Yep, there we have it, folks. Me giving myself a harder time. Wow, you actually don't have a cooked attention span and you made it through the whole video? Congratulations! The next video is definitely gonna sound better because I actually have a mic now, but I wanted this video to sound consistent. So for this one, I actually didn't use the mic, but for the next one, I will. I just need to figure out how to use it first. We'll see how that goes.